they come out clean.
Welcome back to another edition of Birds in the Buckets. This is the official immediate draft reaction of night one of the 2025 NBA draft. I'm Rashad Milligan, joined here by my co-host Malik Brown. Malik, how are you doing, sir?
Man, we doing good. Just leaving the arena. Heard Auntie talk. Listen, Ace too. So, uh, long night, busy night, but we made it, man. We made it.
Man. Who you telling? Who you telling, bro? And ironically, it's like regardless of even if I leave the Hawks are still connected to me. Tonight, we had another Hawks Pelicans trade. And I think first, I guess that's like the biggest story of the night. So I guess we'll just kind of start off with that, not even waste the time. What was your initial reaction to the trade, man?
So no lie, my first initial reaction to the trade was, Jesus, we gotta wait 10 more picks. And so that was legit my first reaction because shout out to Jackson. He works for Sports Illustrated. He was sitting next to me and he showed me, and I was like, "Hey man, like, geez, we trading again. Like they trading again. We gotta wait another like 10 picks." But then he showed me about basically them getting next year's pick and how it's basically the most favorable between Milwaukee and New Orleans. And I was like, oh, Aussie did something. So for a minute, I was like, dang, like Aussie really cooked with that one because it's like you probably the player that you wanted at 13 probably wasn't there like at that point. Like I don't know who they probably wanted that already got picked at 13. So you move back, and then you also get an extra first round pick on top of that. And it's like when you look at the teams, Milwaukee, they're kind of in limbo right now. You don't know what Giannis is going to do, but I mean, Dame is going to be hurt and everything like that. And then you look at New Orleans, you don't really know what New Orleans is going to be about either because they just made a few moves, just recently getting Poole and everything like that. So, everything's kind of up in the air with them. So, I mean, first, like when you kind of look at everything in the landscape of everything, like, I mean, it was good. I like the trade.
Yeah, man. At first I was just like, okay. I seen everybody excited for the extra pick. And it's like I think a lot of people are assuming that the Pelicans are just gonna be really bad again next year. And it's a bit puzzling to me how everybody just kind of assumes that the Pelicans are gonna be bad because the Pelicans aren't a bad team. And that might sound like a hot take, but they aren't a bad team because 2 years ago they just won 49 games. They still have the fabric of the same team there right now. They just got really like the most unlucky team I've ever seen last year. 1 through 10, their best players were all hurt at the same time. I've never seen that before. That's the only reason why the Pelicans were bad last season. And that's the only reason why anybody, including yourself, you just said you don't know the Pelicans are a question mark. That's the only reason why anybody's even questioning, like, okay, are the Pelicans going to be good or are they going to be really bad again? Nobody knows because nobody knows, like, what voodoo water, like Dyson Daniels said, a curse down there, whatever the case might be. Nobody knows what is going to happen with the Pelicans next season, whether or not they live up to the expectation and talent that they have on the roster. Because if they do, they're going to win 45 plus games next season. And that's just what it is with Poole and Zion and Trey Murphy coming into his own. Trey Murphy played like an all-star last season. Probably the only reason why he wasn't selected was because the Pelicans were really bad as a team. Zion's an all-star, one of the better players in the league, period, when healthy. And now you got Jordan Poole. SSB said, yo, what up? It all comes down to Zion. 100% agree, SSB. But now you got Jordan Poole, who now he has a lot of the expectation off of him again. He's no longer the guy in Washington where he's the guy. It's no longer the case. He's now a third option again. And he thrived in that role, obviously, in Golden State because he's like the Nick Young of this generation. He's hot and cold. So, you know what I'm saying? I say all of this to say the Pels drafted well. I think the Pels have a good night. They had a good night and things of that sort. The thing about it is just like everybody's assuming that they're going to be bad, so the Hawks are going to get a high lottery pick and have a chance at the number one pick. And I'm just like, that's just not a given. I'll say that. Trey Murphy is a defensive player. SSB said this is either going to be really good or really bad. I agree. He said no in between. I agree 100%. Because Jeremiah Fears, he's a guy with a high ceiling, but he also can be like just an erratic bust who can't shoot. And, you know what I mean? So it's just like he's a tall guard and he's had a lot of games where he scored a lot of points in college. But he's also like you can't shoot. So it's like that's a concern, but he might work his way around it. We'll see. That point guard position for the Pelicans is wide open with DeJounte's Achilles injury. Jose Alvarado doesn't want to be the starting point guard over there. He runs too much. And then, you also have Alfred Payton as a third string guy over there. So, it'll be interesting. And then Derek Queen, it's a crowded front court when healthy. Herb Jones, Zion, Missy. But I think he can fit his way into the rotation, especially considering the fact they just traded Kelly Olynyk to Washington yesterday. So there's that. I say all of this, like I said, a long-winded way to once again say you can't just count out the Pelicans and assume that they're going to be really bad next season. However, a first-round pick is a first-round pick. Hawks lose 3 first-round picks trading for DeJounte. They got 2 back with the original Pelicans trade last year, and now they got a third one officially tonight. So they kind of cleaned up their mess, and they got Kristaps Porzingis out of it and Dyson Daniels out of it, and we shall see who's the 2026 guy.
Yeah, man. Shout out to New Orleans for kind of just giving everything the Hawks lost back. Like the past like they really like the past 2 years, like they've really like helped the Hawks as far as like assets and players and everything. Like I remember even seeing something earlier this morning. Some guy. It's funny because I saw him a lot last year around this time about like the Hawks and the Pelicans making a trade. But I remember this morning he was like, I guess he had heard something about Herb Jones and like them trading Herb to the Hawks for like the 13th pick and then them swapping the 23, something like that. And he was basically saying like it would work because he fit in the trade exception or something like that. But I mean that didn't work. I mean that didn't happen. But like at the same time, like the Pelicans still traded something with the Hawks. So it's just crazy to see like they're helping them out again. But like you said, like the Pelicans were not healthy at all last season. I think fully healthy, I think they're definitely would have been a competitive team, more competitive than they were when not healthy. So that's really like the biggest question mark. Like SSB said, like I feel like it's no in between. I feel like you might, and I mean it's kind of hard because like Giannis can get you if Giannis stays with the Bucks. Giannis can get them about 40, 45 wins off the strength. Like, you feel me? Like, depending on what they do around him. So, like, in hindsight, it's like, it kind of reminds me of, like, how everybody was looking at when they got the trade from the Pelicans last year. And they got the Lakers pick. And everybody was like, oh, like, JJ Redick is the new head coach. Like, nobody knows what the Lakers are going to do. Like, this could potentially be a top 5 pick. And then they go off and get Luka, and then they go on this crazy run and they finish third in the West. And it's like, dang, like, all right, you got to settle for the 22nd pick. Granted, they got the best like pick in that situation, but like, everybody was expecting the Lakers to be bad, but they actually were good, like really good. So it might be one of those situations again, in my opinion.
Yeah, man. 100% agree. Like really with these picks, I think if anything, picks beyond just the players that you can get from them, the assets that they are so valuable. I think if anything, you've seen that from is OKC with the entire Paul George trade and getting J Dub out of those kind of bunch of picks. Like you get a bunch of picks. Same thing with Boston. If you go back a few more years with the Brooklyn Nets trade, the KG and Paul Pierce trade, you get guys like Jaylen Brown out of it and everything like that. Like that stuff, assets just matter so much with draft picks. And even if you might use the pick, you might not. You might use it to facilitate another trade. Same thing they did this year. Like they originally had 22 from the Lakers. They get rid of it the day before the draft for Porzingis, and they somehow get the 23rd pick. That was just crazy. Like that, like that was some magician stuff. That was some magical stuff. Shout out to Andy for that. But the Asa Noel, man. SSB. He said, I still don't know why Boston blew up the team. Windhorse was talking about Boston blowing up the team probably like in February, just because Jaylen Brown got 300 mil. Tatum was probably going to get something similar or more than, or at least equal, whatever the max is, and things of that sort. And then Drew Holiday, ball head man, Derek White, Porzingis, like all those guys had to get paid or had to, you had to take on that on the books. They were like in the third Abram, I think, and now they're like out of the second Abram, and but they're still above the luxury tax. So, but they're only like 16 million, I think, away from the luxury tax. I'm doing all of these numbers off top. It might be a little off, but that's around the ballpark of where they are now. So they're really just like, hey, if we're going to be bad next season with no Jason Tatum, there's no reason to be above the luxury tax with no Jason Tatum and be a play-in team. The new CBA is going to have more parity, but no dynasties. Yeah, 100%. 100%. We were talking about that yesterday on Birds in the Buckets for sure. But yeah, man. All in all, that's what I have to say. Draft picks are important. Assets are important. You can flip it into something else, as we see Anzi's doing right now. Yes. So now, post draft, post Asanuel, who do you use the $25 million trade exception on?
I think you gotta use it for somebody in the backcourt for sure, like a wing or something. Now, I mean, I feel like the front court is like kind of solidified at this point. I do think that they still need like I don't know, maybe another center. I don't know, because I mean, Noah can play the 4 or the 5 in my opinion. But I also don't think that he will play much. This season, I don't know. It's kind of hard to see, but I think they get like a veteran center or something like that. Because I mean, you also got to key in the fact like Kristaps, you don't expect him to play that many games. Like he'll probably you want him to play at least 60 games. So I mean, those other 20 something games, like, or whatever, or like, he'll have those random rest days or whatever. You want to have like a vet, honestly. So, but I don't think they use a trade exception for that. I definitely think they go with a wing or something. So I know, like yesterday we talked about, I'm still on, Nikhil. I don't know about Cam now, but I think the best option is Nikhil. And like, of course, like we've seen all these rumors, like everybody's saying it, like all the NBA insiders are like, yeah, like the Hawks are interested in using their trade exception, signing trade for Nikhil. Like that's all you've been hearing. So I feel like when you keep hearing people say it, like it's either going to be like really hit or miss. But for right now, that's who I think would be the best choice right now. Like you got to get some people in the backcourt because as of now, like they haven't even re-signed Karras yet, so you don't really have any like legit wings on the floor. I mean, on the team, as far as like backup wings. Like you got Dyson and Zach, of course, and Jalen, but like after that, who do you have? Like Veet. That's it. Like, so you got to re-sign Karras if you can. You got to get us like maybe two more wings. You got to get a guard. So that's where I see the trade exception should go right now.
Yeah, I agree with you on the Kel Alexander Walker. Once again, I'll pull this up though. I do want to say out loud. Yeah, I think Asa Newell, like that pick was the official insurance for Jalen Johnson. So now it not only is it Mo Gay, because like I think off top, Mo Gay is starting still with Jalen out. But then, you have a backup in Asa. And like eventually he'll probably work his way up. Either Mo Gay continues to take a step offensively and gets to the place that he needs to be like, okay, I'm a solidified person in this rotation, whether or not Jalen's here, or Asa Newell like lives up to his potential of being the next John Collins and this and that, and and you get a good guy there that could back up Jalen Johnson and things of that sort. I'll say that right there. Well, how you feel about that? First of all, Malik, before I get into my second player that I like as the trade.
About him being insurance for Jalen.
Yeah,
I think for sure. Yeah, I think like you said, like right now, I feel like Mo definitely has like the fourth spot locked up, like the backup fourth spot locked up. Because I was very confused on like how that would go with Niang. When Niang was still on the team, I was concerned about like, okay, Jalen's gonna come back healthy. Like I felt like Niang was gonna be the backup for, and I was like, okay, where does Mo fit in this? Because I feel like Mo is better like at the 4 than the 5. And I was like, there's no way you send him back to College Park. Like, especially the way he played at the end of the season. So now, you got rid of Niang. And then, you bring in Kristaps. I feel like he'll play most of the backup 5 minutes, or if he starts, whatever, we don't got to get into that now, but, he's a backup 5. Now that kind of gives space for Mo to, get that those backup 4 minutes behind Jalen. So, like we talked about yesterday, like Kristaps and Jalen are like the two people that are currently right now, like, they get injured a lot. So they're going to need insurance. So Newell and Mower are going to be those guys. So I mean, it makes perfect sense, honestly.
yeah, no, 100%, man. And SSB, he just asked, do you guys think it's better to pick the best talent or the best fit? I think it depends on the team. Like if you're a team that is like right there, I think you should go with best fit. If you're a team that has a lot of needs, say you need a backup point guard, you need some wings, and you need more depth in the front court, which is pretty much the Hawks, you get the best guy available. And according to Jay Billis, Asa Newell was his number one guy on the board for a little minute there, probably since like the 10th pick, so I think that's what they did. He was a guy they reportedly, kind of made a promise to draft at 13, and they trade back at 23, and he's still there. So they take him there. I think it's a great value. And that's how I feel about that situation. Malik, what you have to say about?
Wow, it's crazy.
Yeah,
that report came out this morning. Did somebody tweet that he got a promise from the Hawks?
yeah. NBA Draft.net.
Wow.
Shout out to NBA Draft.net, man.
Wow.
They were the. I remember we talked about this a few pods ago, like before the draft. Back in the day, like in the 2000s, NBA Draft.net was the place for mock drafts and just draft coverage and all of that stuff.
Dang, they hit on that one. Wow.
They hit on
that
that.
was good. That was good. Nah. But
Yeah.
I feel the same way. I think it depends on the team. Like, I feel like you say, if you're a contender, like you can definitely go best player available. Because I mean, shoot, when I saw OKC get Thomas, I was like, dang, like they just keep stacking up on talent, like, but they can really go in any direction. And I felt like Thomas was the best player at that that pick right there. So, but yeah, like, and if you're a team that needs to plug in some like fill in some holes or whatever like that, then that's when you kind of go with fit. And I mean, with the Hawks, Ansi said on Monday that his philosophy has always been best player available, best player available. Like he's always believed in that. So, I mean, he feels like at 23, he got the best player available, and it was Newell. So, hey, not mad at it.
SB was talking about NBA Draft.net. He said that website is an OG website. And then the next comment was, even I was young using that. LOL. They famously used that, like, because every draft prospect had comparisons. The famous one is Deshaun Stevenson. They compared him to Michael Jordan. That was
that was them.
That
Dang,
was them. That
I
was
remember
NBA Draft
seeing
on that.
that before. Dang,
Yeah.
wow, that's
NBA
hilarious.
Draft on that, man. But like every summer I would go there to see like who they had on the mock drafts. And like as a kid, I would like know the top 10 picks because of NBA Draft.net. But yes, beyond this, there was something I wanted to ask you about Nico, right? Nico Juric. So like obviously dealt with injuries, so they kind of kept him in College Park and never signed him to a full roster spot, plus the roster was full. Now with, like you said, thin, very thin on the wings, I imagine that Nico's going to play Summer League, right? So if Nico has a good showing at Summer League, we're going to bring in Nico as a backup wing or whatever for Ricochet?
I think if he does have a good showing, I definitely think you bring him to training camp, and he kind of have him do a little training camp battle with whoever is in that spot. If anything, because I mean I feel like he might be closer to, like, I don't know if he back up Zach. I feel like it would be like, I don't know. I kind of look at him like a backup guard, honestly, more of a backup guard.
Yeah. I
Um,
thought he was a point guard, like, because that's kind of the way he
yeah,
plays. But
yeah.
every place like on the internet, well, I have the G League website pulled up right now and it says guard. But every other place on the internet had like him as a small forward, as a 6'8" small forward. And I was like, I thought his game was like a guard, like he brings the ball up and everything like that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It was like
I
weird to
mean,
me.
that's what he was kind of doing in College Park. I
Exactly.
mean, he kind of like a combo or something, like a combo. Like, I mean, kind of like Kobe. Like,
Yeah.
I feel like he was kind of like a combo like Kobe. But I mean, since I still kind of look at him like that, is like, I don't know, you kind of get redundant because it's like, okay, if you put him in that Kobe, like you put him in that spot with Kobe, and if let's just say the Hawks get to do the sign and trade for Nikhil, it's like those three players kind of all do the same thing. So it's like, what do you do? I don't know. I don't know what the Hawks are going to do with him. But if he does have like a really good summer league, you have to at least kind of explore it. Like, you got to at least try to sign him to like a little, I don't know, a little contract or something, and kind of have him battle it out in the training camp. And if he don't win, then go back to College Park, and I'm sure he'll have some more opportunities or whatever to come back on the on the regular roster every once in a while if it's injuries or something like that, and kind of who. But I don't know what the Hawks are like, the temperature they have on him right now. But like I said, I think you just see what he can do in summer league and go from there.
Yeah. So first, Nate, shout out Big Nate in the building. He said the Wizards will regret passing up on Derek Queen. So there it is with the DMV. Who did the Wizards take? Hold on, let me go back to see who the Wizards actually took. Because I think we were all just kind of laughing when they
Wasn't
picked
it Trey?
that it's Trey Johnson. Trey Cole.
Yeah,
Cole.
Trey's cool. He's a guard,
Yeah,
right? Yeah,
yeah,
guard.
PG.
Yeah.
He's
So
decent.
yeah.
But I guess he was, I mean, like, I don't know. Like, I don't know if he's trying to do the whole Mystics thing in the front court where, you have Sar and then draft Derek Queen and then draft another big next year. I don't know if y'all trying to do that for the Wizards, but Trey Cole, I like Trey. SSB said positionless basketball in the modern day is wings, big shooters, playmaker. Dang near everybody could bring the ball up. And he said in the scores, I might have missed some. No, 100%. I remember who tried to do the maybe lethal shooter. No. It was Rashad Phillips Yoda who tried to create the new positions. It was like
Oh yeah.
Flash
Yeah.
wings. Yeah, that was a lot. That was a lot. But shout out to Yoda for sure. I'm looking at Veet Krejci. Veet still has like 2 seasons kind of left on this contract.
Yeah.
So here's the question: like, do you bring Veet on?
I forgot about
Like, do you
beat
think-
too. Dang,
'cause
that's
what I'm
literally a
saying.
lot.
Yeah, it's like you don't have a backup point guard, but you have 5 backup point guards.
Yeah. Hold on real quick. Go ahead. I'll be back
Yeah.
in like 10 seconds.
Yeah. So I don't know, like that's the thing I'm really thinking about here. Like you know what I'm saying? That's a lot. You have 5 back, you got Veet, you have Kobe Buffkin, you have Nico. You know what I'm saying? You got like 3, that's 3 guys right there. You're probably like you're gonna use the vet minimum or the trade exception on a Nickel Alexander Walker or another guy that I want to shout out and things of that sort. And you know that's what you're dealing with. Going back to the DMV, Nate said the Mystics passed up on Angel Reese and now the Wizards passed up on Derek Queen. I'm sick. See, the thing about it is, like, I don't know. Like, I think in terms of clout, of course, like Angel Reese you'll miss, but like you guys have the most solid 4 position situation in the WNBA. Like, I don't know if you like should be just upset about not having Angel Reese when you have Shakira Austin, when you have Aaliyah Edwards, when you have Kiki Iriafen. Like, you guys are straight right there with those 3. Like, you're good to go, in my opinion. I don't think you need like, but Angel, of course, is like, you know, Angel Reese, all the stuff beyond that. And she's a hometown kid. She's doing the stuff in our hometown high school and stuff with Magic Johnson for the financial literacy. It's just like, I don't know. SSB he said maybe you can use some of those guys that we name in trades. 100%. And then also that brings me to the guy that I want to bring up again, Young Bull. He's set to make 18 million this season, and then that's it. So it's a similar situation like a Kristaps Porzingis, expiring contract, 1-year deal. I like it. He was told tonight that he's going to get traded. So,
And they told, oh, that's a report. That was a report that came out.
Yeah.
Dang.
But, hold on. Let me see.
Because no, Utah did draft the guard, didn't they? They did.
Yeah,
draft
they
the guard,
drafted
right?
the kid from Florida, Walter
Walter.
Clayton.
Oh, Walter. Yeah.
Yeah, I always want to call him Willie Clayton Jr. because of Georgia
Obviously,
State.
yeah.
But yeah, nah, he was told that that was it. It's probably gonna happen in the next 2 weeks. And some of the teams, SSB said he doesn't like Trae Young and Colin Sexton backcourt. It's just like as a backup. Both are a little too ball dominant for me to work. I feel like you get like, I don't know. I just think you get a close to Trae experience with Trae off the floor with Colin Sexton. That's how I feel about the situation.
Yeah, I don't think if he was to get traded here, I don't think him and Colin would be on the floor at the same time.
Yeah,
they would kind of just be like them staggering minutes. Yeah, I don't think they would share the court together. I mean, but I feel like it could work, but I don't think they do it. Nah.
Well, it was Milwaukee, Sacramento, and Boston who inquired about Colin tonight.
Milwaukee, who else?
Milwaukee. By the way, this is exclusive. Milwaukee, Sacramento, and Boston.
Dang, Boston. I don't see it for
So
Boston.
Milwaukee is like he's pretty
I
much
think
just filling in for Dame this year.
Yeah, true. I feel like Milwaukee out of those teams, Milwaukee. You said Sacramento too.
Sacramento and Boston.
Sacramento, and Milwaukee make the most sense. Um, I honestly would like to see him in Milwaukee.
Yeah,
I think that yeah, Milwaukee for sure.
that'll be bad news for the Hawks, but good news for like
Yeah,
I guess his
right.
career and because it'll probably be like a one and done thing, especially if they bring back Dame and they keep Giannis.
Yeah, yeah,
So it's like okay, yeah, you get 1 year to start for a team because you've been backing up for the past couple years and things of that sort. Yeah, I felt like he really got the short end of the stick in Cleveland. I didn't really like how they did him there, but hey, I ain't gonna lie.
because he was
He
when
gets
he playing with
Spider.
Garland
Yeah, he was
at
with
one
Garland.
point,
Yeah,
and they picked Garland over him. Yeah,
yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, yeah, pretty much. He like, okay, you want to get Spider? Who you giving up? And they said, oh, we'll give up Sexton. So yeah. Uh, I don't know, man. How you feel about Garland? Side note.
um, I think he's solid for what the Cavs want. That's crazy. I just literally wrote a story earlier today about him. Apparently the Suns reached out to them for him when they were trying to trade KD. But it sounds like the Cavs don't. They weren't trying to trade him at all, and they aren't looking to shop him or anything. I think that's what the report said. But I think Garland's cool. Like, I mean, I feel like him and Donovan work well. Like, I mean, they won what 60 games this season. I mean, but folks was ready to trade him before this season, before last season, because they got bounced out the second round or something like that. Like, they were ready to give up on him after. I feel like they've been ready to give up on him like the past 3 years, honestly. Like after every time they got bounced out the playoffs like the past 3 seasons, they're like, oh, we don't know what the future is gonna look like for Darius Garland. Like it's either gonna be Donovan or Garland. Like that was literally what they were saying when they got kicked out the first round when they played the Knicks. What was that 2 3 years ago? So he's literally like in a trade rumor every year for the past 3 years. I like him though. I think it finally worked this season. Um, and I kind of just think he takes the pressure off for Donovan a lot because he can score. He's a playmaker. He has a quick first step. Like he's real shifty. I like him.
Yeah, you would call him like the Miles Turner of point guards.
Right.
Speaking of like Miles Turner, I feel like it's like Miles Turner and then John Collins for sure in terms of like
Oh yeah, for sure.
they live on the trade market.
Yeah.
I think tonight just solidified John Collins is like that's over with. The John Collins reunion, any chances of that in Atlanta, that's over. So
Yeah.
now it's just like yeah, I think John Collins might go to the Lakers, just according to like all the talk. I think he goes to the Lakers. I think Colin, I don't know where Colin's going. Dan said as long as he doesn't go to Dallas, he's good with that. Shout out to Dan in the chat, man. SSB said, I don't think Cavs management like a small backcourt. It's the smallest in the East, maybe in the NBA. Hey, it don't matter when you win 60 games.
And I mean, look at the back end.
Yeah,
You got
yeah.
2 7-footers. They ain't near in the back, like cleaning up everything.
I mean, both of them all stars, both
Yep.
of them all stars. You know, Jared all star and Evan an all star. So it's like they have it. You know what I'm saying? They have the nice supporting system. I wonder what happens to Isaac Okoro. I know I'm doing like a lot of Atlanta guys, but it is I guess Atlanta basketball podcast. But yeah. Where else do I want to go? Where else do I want to go with this? Derek Queen. How do you feel about Derek Queen? Do you think he's gonna work out? Well, I mean, none of us know. I don't even know why I'm asking the question, but like, how do you feel about Derek Queen?
It's funny. I was talking to E about this. today, and he didn't. I don't think he was a big fan of it. He was just like he didn't know how him and Zion would fit together. Uh, I don't know. I'm not sure. Like, and also whatchamacallit, Amir. Shout out to Amir. Amir really liked Derek too. Like he wanted dogs to get him. Um, but Derek, like, just I was looking at his film like last month. Dude can like he can move like for his position like at a 4-5 like he can move like he has a nice handle like of course he can shoot and things like that so I like him as a prospect. I do want to see how it fits alongside like Zion or something like that. Like I don't know if Zion fits better next to like a traditional five like Missy or like a stretch or something like that. Um, and Derek, I don't know. I feel like Derek and Zion kind of just do the same thing. I mean, but Zion is just, of course, like super athletic and things like that. Like he can just kind of do a little bit of um everything when it comes to like getting to the rim and things like that. Uh, so I don't know. I am interested in seeing how that pairing fits, but I like Derek as a prospect. Like I really like what he brings to the floor.
Yeah, yeah. I thought the Jokic comparisons from Perk were interesting and things of that sort. I don't know. I think you always get nervous when it's like a tweener guy, like who's like six
Hmm.
nine and kind of got some weight on him, and it's
Yeah,
like, oh, this could turn out really well, or this could turn out to be a disaster. And I think that's what you have with Derek Queen. However, if it works, man, shoot, it's gonna work really well. And then you got
yeah,
Fierce too with them coming in. I think that could be a 1-2 combo that's crazy. And then you also have the modern day 1-2 combo with Poole and Zion. So it's like,
yeah.
man, I don't know, man. If they get that gumbo, no, I'm just playing. But Dan said I like Sexton, but I don't want to see the Mavs giving up like Gafford, PJ, and a future pick for a 2-year rental on Sexton. Um, Speaking of, let's look at like I guess Dallas. Like we knew it was gonna be Cooper and everything like that. Dan, if you're still in the chat, who do you want to be the backup point guard? Because Chris Paul obviously makes the most sense on paper, but we were talking about it yesterday. Chris Paul was talking about how he misses his kids and he's 40 years old. He wants to be there for them in LA. So let us know, Dan, if you are in the chat still and stuff like that. But in the meantime, man, was there anything else in tonight's draft that like really just stuck out to you that you were like, oh man, like this is something that
Yes,
what?
yes. The the Suns giving up two first round picks for Mark Williams.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I didn't. I liked the pick at 10. Like they hit it with 10. But literally like 3 minutes later, I saw the trade and I was like, two first round picks for Mark Williams. Like, did we not just see what happened like a couple months ago?
Yeah.
Like this was a great pick. This was a great pick for them. They needed a center. Like they don't have any centers. Like the only players they have on the roster right now is Devin Booker, Jalen Green, Grayson Allen, and Royce O'Neal. Like they needed a center, so they got him. But I don't know if I'm giving up that much capital for Mark Williams. Like I kind of I feel like we already seen the red. I always tell people like the biggest red flag with me is like or like my biggest problem is like people telling me they red flags and like I'm just like I just still overlook them. I feel like that's exactly what the Suns just did.
uh yeah, no, it's crazy. That was a crazy decision. Like there's no way around it. Stephen A called it out, but it was funny. Stephen A went right to the Lakers situation, and I was just like, bro, like, goodness gracious, we get it. Y'all cover the Lakers, but anyways, shout out to ESPN for doing the alternative stream with Kenny Beach and them boys.
Oh, they was on ESPN too.
I didn't even know until like after the fact. I seen clips on my timeline. I said, "Oh, this look like ESPN," and they had Windhorse on there.
Oh, that's dope. That's dope.
Yeah,
Shout out
yeah.
Kenny and the boys. Nah, they
Nah,
be
yeah,
they be
shout
they
out.
be turned, man.
Yeah,
They be
no, no.
turned.
ESPN be seeing the complaints for sure because they like,
Yeah.
why not get Kenny Beecham? We tired of seeing him. They did it. Dan said he said I love CP3, but knowing Nico, he gonna take D'Lo. SSB said Kyrie's gonna resign for a big contract. Kyrie, he already signed for a 3-year extension and stuff like that. He's just gonna be out for the first few months with his injury and stuff like that. So that's why we're talking about their point guard situation. SSB said, "Is it me or did a few guys just look not too happy getting drafted to certain cities?" And to that, I say this: Ace Bailey, man, bro, he couldn't even. He's shaking the commissioner hand. This is what you dream about your whole life. You dream about it your whole life. Just get up there, put the hat on, shake the commissioner hand. My man did not smile, bro. He did
Him
not
and
smile.
who else was it? Colin or
Oh yeah, oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh, who shook his head and said what he said? hey, hey, shout out to them young boys, man.
Oh my god.
Like the draft really started off really slow on the emotional side of things, and it ramped up at the end with the
Yeah.
people who had to wait. And I
Yeah.
think it like waiting just gave them that emotion of like,
Yeah.
man, I didn't know if I was gonna be drafted. Period. It's 60 picks, bro. You was gonna get drafted, dog. Well, you might not have gotten drafted today, but you was gonna get drafted. But yeah, Ace Bailey was heated, dog. I was laughing at that. I'm not gonna lie to you.
But but what did you expect though? Like, you literally have been doing like, I don't know, like I can't say off the wall, but like you've been doing some real strange things the past 2 weeks. Like you canceled your meeting. We already know you did not want to go Sixers because you canceled your meetings and your workouts with them. And then, like literally this morning it came out that he said that he had gained like 20 pounds of muscle, and everybody's confused, like, how did you do that between college, like
Hey,
between
yo.
like how did you do that? So he just like, it's just a lot of red flags with him. Like I just don't know. When you get drafted to Utah, like, is that what you wanted, or did you want to go to Washington? Like, it's obvious that he didn't want to go to a team that already like maybe had somebody at his spot, or he just, or like the Sixers where it's like he not gonna get that much. Like he gonna get PT, but it's like you gotta get the ball over 3 other dudes. You feel me? Like you go to Utah, all you gonna be fighting with is Laurie. You go to Washington, I mean, you really not gonna be fighting with anybody except the vets. But like, I don't know his. I really don't know his process. Like, I don't know, and I don't want to talk for him or like assume anything. Like, but I am interested in knowing what his, like, their mindset was as far as like where they wanted him to go, where he wanted to go, and like why not the Sixers. So I don't know.
There was a report from Barstool this morning that was like Ace Bailey is pretty much cool with everywhere as long as it's not Utah. Here it is. I found it. There it is. Ace Bailey's camp reportedly doesn't care about $10-15 million. Will do anything to make sure he's not drafted by the Hornets or the Jazz.
You got picked by the Jazz.
So I don't know if you heard this at Phillips Arena, State Farm. The reporter, he said, like, I guess they like waited till he was drafted to report it. He said he didn't work out for anybody.
Oh wow.
You know, it was a big deal.
Wow.
He didn't work out for the Sixers, and they pick and chose who they talked to, who they interviewed with. He didn't work out for anybody.
That's confusing. That's confusing.
And then when they asked him in the the post like little presser, he said, did you have a preference? He said, I had no preference.
But I don't get it.
I mean, you have,
I'm
but
so
you have to
confused.
say, like, what are you going to say if you did have the preferences of Washington, D.C., Brooklyn, New York, and New Orleans? Well, I was kind of confused. I was a bit puzzled why he wanted to go to New Orleans because it's like Trey Murphy is like one of the young stars in the league.
Yeah.
But yeah, like why? I don't know. It was weird. But like if that was the case, right? You wouldn't be saying like, yeah, I had preferences. None of them were Utah though.
Right.
Like he wasn't gonna say that. So I think he answered that the best way. I had no preference. Like just lie.
Boy, shout out. I can't even say shout out to his PR team. I don't know what he's doing. I don't know what they're doing with him. I honestly don't know what they're doing with him. But hey, he got drafted. He got drafted what, top 5? Utah was what, the 5th pick. So
yeah.
Hey man, all power to him. I hope he hoop.
Shout out Ace Bailey, brother.
I can't wait to see him in summer league. See what he do.
Dan said Kyrie got the 3-year, $119 million deal with Dallas. Essentially the same deal he signed last time. SSB said Suns should have ran that core back. They went to the finals, and now they're a sinking ship. Man, it's crazy.
Facts.
Bro, didn't Ayton like force his way out? Why was he so upset with Phoenix? Like, what happened? I can't remember.
I don't know. It just seemed like he wasn't
happy.
Too happy with like, I don't know, maybe touches or something like that, or maybe he felt like he wasn't getting many touches. But I mean, he tried to dip.
I'm not even gonna lie. I forgot that he was still in the league. Like he's on Portland because you like Portland does something and you just like, what does Portland even do? And it's like they exist. I'm like,
he signed a thing with the Pacers, I think, one time.
Like offer sheet.
Yeah.
Let me see. Yeah, in 2022, he signed a significant a 4-year, $133 million offer sheet. Phoenix Suns matched it. Oh dang! So yeah, he didn't want to be in Phoenix at all. Bro.
Yeah, that was 2022. Was that after the finals they went to? Yeah, because they went to the finals 2021, right?
Yeah, 21. Yeah.
So he had already been like I kind of already knew, like, when they traded for KD, I was like, yeah, he's not gonna be here after this season, and he definitely was not. But nah, SSB is right. They definitely should have ran that quarterback.
He also said Kenny needs more media hype. Shout out to Kenny.
For sure.
Shout out Kenny. Dan said, I mean, I don't want D-Lo on the Mavs because it's IQ. D-Lo, ice in his veins. Ice in his veins.
I did see a report earlier about the Mavericks being interested in him, actually.
Yeah. I mean, like, Dan he didn't get that out of nowhere.
Yeah, no, it makes sense.
Yeah. He didn't get that out of nowhere. SSB said, look at the guys that got drafted by the Raptors. All right, let me see.
Oh, you're talking about Colin. Oh, you're talking about how they look.
I ain't pulling that up. Because I have to play the clip. And then Disney Channel going like take down. You said hey, you guys can read that if y'all want to read it.
Hey, thanks for saying it for us, SSB.
Yeah. Nate said, I would like the Wizards to trade CJ and Marcus. Already? Dang, he just got there. Marcus to Portland for Drew Holiday. If Drew Holiday was mad about going to Portland, he's going to be extremely mad about going to DC. I think, if anything, DC is closer to Boston, so it's like I don't have to move my family that much further. He said, I'm sorry, but Ace Bailey just isn't that guy. He didn't move the needle at Rutgers. Hey, I think that's, you know what I mean?
I remember earlier in the season, people was talking about Ace Bailey. Like it was literally Cooper and Ace.
Yeah.
And everybody was mad. Everybody was like so skeptical on like Ace because they was like, he's a shot chucker. Like literally, that's the only problem they had with him. They were like, bro, he just shoots the ball. That's all he kind of does. He just shoot the ball. Like he don't play defense, any of that. Like he literally just shoots the ball. He don't do nothing else. That's the one thing that I always remembered throughout from then to now. Like I really haven't. I've watched film and stuff on him, but like after I heard like all he does is just shoot the ball, I'm like, I mean, bro, like I really don't need to see anything else from you.
I play shooting guard, not passing. Now Dan, be so for real, brother.
What did he say?
In a
Let me
perfect
call.
offseason, the Mavs will sign Chris Paul to 5.7 million, mid-level exception, and then you trade Caleb Martin, Jaden Hardy, and a take it to the Bulls for Lonzo Ball. So y'all just gonna get the two best point guards on the market. Like, I want you to be like a little seriously. Like, you really think that like, but I mean, but that's what he said in a perfect offseason. So I love the dreaming, but like, nah, twin, that ain't about to
I
happen.
mean, but you gotta think about it though, because it's like I think Kyrie's gonna come back in like January.
Yeah.
Okay, so you got CP and Lonzo already. Who somebody's not gonna be happy when Kyrie come back,
Yeah. You don't need like he ain't out for the whole season.
unless you gonna trade Lonzo somewhere else when he come back, or you. I doubt you trade CP, but
If you're
I
the
mean, but
Hawks,
you already traded. But he, but and then thing, you done already traded Caleb Martin and Jaden Hardy in a second for Lonzo. Like you finna trade Lonzo again for like that's a lot. No, that's a lot, Dan. I ain't gonna lie, that's a lot.
um, the Lonzo thing. So he's 10 million. So that's under 25 million.
He just signed that too.
Do you use the trade deception on Lonzo Ball?
For the Hawks.
Yeah.
Uh I think there's better options. I think it's definitely better options.
I respect it.
I think it's better options for sure. I'm not mad. I think Alonzo would be cool, but like, okay, you got another injured person. Like how many like what are like I'm like we gotta be real at some point. Like we
It's
need to
gonna
start
start
getting some
looking like
healthy
the Dallas
bodies in
Mavericks.
here.
It's gonna
Like
start looking-
we gotta start getting some healthy bodies in here, man.
Nate said too many red flags with Ace, and he said he's glad that they didn't draft him. And they is the Washington Wizards for Nate. Hold on.
Oh, Nate from DC.
Yeah, he from DMV area.
Shout out Nate.
SSB said honestly, Utah could be a blessing in disguise. He's isolated, not too much media coverage to ball out. Other media markets will dog out this story.
That's true.
100%, bro.
Because Utah barely gets any like media coverage or anything. Like he could really just go out there and just do whatever, and like the next morning, Stephen A would not be on him. Kendrick Perkins would not be on him. Like they will not spend a 10-minute segment or 10 to 15-minute segment on Ace Bailey every day. First take would just never.
Name three Jordan Clarkson games.
I promise you the only reason I feel like the biggest moment I feel like the Jazz had this season, and it wasn't even because of them. It was when Trey hit that half court shot.
I had a feeling you were gonna say that. I was like, oh man, he's gonna say it. Nate said he didn't like Monty Williams. Oh, DeAndre Ayton didn't like Monty Williams. That's what he said.
Oh, okay, that makes sense. That makes sense.
SSB said Ayton wanted to go to Indiana, but Portland got him. He tried forcing the move to the Pacers. Big Nate said it started with the playoff series when he got called out and he was going into training camp and he wasn't happy even then. And he didn't speak to Monty after the playoff loss.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
now everything coming back to memory. Now I remember all of this.
Wow. Play basketball.
Yeah.
Dan said there were reports that Kyrie's going to be back in January, but I don't know if he's going to be 100% healthy until then.
Oh no, when Kyrie comes back, if he comes back in January, he's definitely not playing back to backs. Definitely gonna be on a minute restriction. Like the hope for the Mavericks is that they are at least like in a good range, like as far as seating or standings when Kyrie gets back, because when he gets back, it's like okay, like we already maybe what a 6, 7, 8 seed, like we could work with that. You feel me? He come back, he be ready for April. They go on a little run. That's kind of like I feel like best case scenario for them.
Yeah, the West is tough. If I'm a free agent and I'm looking to like make the finals, I'm going to the East this year. I'm signing on 1 year. I'm signing on 1 year with the East.
For sure.
Like, forget like signing. I'm just gonna try it for a year. Like
for sure.
To be the Wild Wild West, let us shoot it out and try to get in. Like the Sixers can make it.
Yeah. Yeah.
They can go from being one of the worst teams to making it. Dan said CP3, D'Lo, Schroeder, Malcolm Brogdon are the point guards that the Mavs are looking out for. But CP3 is the best point guard out of all of them, 100%. It's all on like we say, it's all on Chris Paul on where he wants to go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I heard Schroeder Mark Stein said Schroeder, the Kings were looking at Schroeder like they may be one of the favorites for him. I haven't heard about Brogdon. Of course, I heard D'Lo this morning about the Mavs. Haven't heard anything about CP, but yeah.
Brogdon, he got to go back to DC for the civil rights suit. Gotta go back for the civil rights suits, bro. Got to fight for justice, bro. 3-pointers, bro. But yeah, okay. SSB asked, what do we think about the Spurs? I think the Spurs had the best. Like a lot of people said, they had the best.
Man, they did. They got Carter Bryant, didn't they?
Yeah,
They got Carter Bryant, 14, right?
Carter Bryant, a dog, yeah.
That's
I'm not gonna lie. When he got
get.
picked and he was going up there, when it felt like, all right, this is gonna sound crazy. I know he's just talking about NBA Draft.net. This is one of the moments. I'm calling it already. But it kind of felt like Giannis. Remember, Giannis went like 14, 15 around that range.
Yeah.
So like when he went, it was like everybody knew he's a great player that kind of fell. He really shouldn't have been 14, 15. So that's how I felt when I seen him.
Yeah. Nah, I'm surprised he went. I'm surprised he dropped to 14.
And Dylan is a hooper, as everybody already knows.
Yeah.
So I don't know. But they've been had, you know what I'm saying, young guys who were like decent, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Now
like,
they can draft. The Spurs, shout out that they can draft. They can draft, man.
They just gotta put it together. And a healthy Wemby.
Yeah. Facts.
SSB said he was surprised Detroit didn't re-sign Schroeder.
I am too. But Ivy's coming back.
Oh yeah. Crowded backcourt.
Yeah.
Dan said D'Lo is fine, but he's not a playmaker. Ice in his veins.
Dang, man, we ain't worried about no playmaking, man.
we ice in the game, man. ISO, clear out. Who was it? No, that was Jeremy Lin that told Kobe to. Yeah. Shout out Jeremy Lin, bro.
And then Kobe came up to him after and was like, it was almost like he asked him, "What did you see there?" And I didn't. Kobe was like, "Okay."
Shout out Jeremy Lin. Big Nate said, "No, thank you, Rashad. We don't need him." And we were talking about Brogdon, yeah. SSB said, "Stop." We were talking about civil rights too. DJ and I'm gonna leave that joke down. Teams are afraid of picking Giannis. This is a good question though. Since the Spurs didn't trade for Giannis and Houston traded for KD, does Giannis stay in Milwaukee? I think Giannis wants to stay in Milwaukee. So it's like it's gonna have to take. I think he's open to the idea of being traded, but it's gonna have to take a situation that is just like, you know what I mean? Like New York lays out the red carpet for him, or Miami has enough around him, not just going to Miami because, you know, it's Miami, Pat Riley, heat culture, no taxes. Like you're going to Miami because they built a better team around you than what Milwaukee has around you. Because Milwaukee's decent, bro. Like,
yeah,
it's just, I don't know whose fault it is for them choking 3 years in a row. I don't know whose fault that is. But
I mean, they've been for two of them. Giannis was hurt because the first season after they won, he had the injury his back or something. It was his back, I think. And then that's when Miami went to the finals. Then the second year was Indiana. Dame and him was hurt. And then this last season, Dame got hurt.
I'm sorry, Malik. Big Nate, I want you to be so serious right now, bro.
Low key, the Wizards.
I
All right,
want, I
no.
want you to be so serious right now, bro. What the Wizards need to do is trade. Just continue to trade. Stack up a bunch of assets. Get you some draft picks. Get you 15 draft picks in the next 5 years. First round, second rounds, and just draft. Trade some draft picks. Look at what OKC did. That's what y'all need to do because y'all it's all the way messed up.
It's like they got some nice young players like Bilal, and it's another guy I'm
Bub
trying to think
Carrington.
of. And Bub.
Yeah, Bub Carrington. And SAR is decent too.
And Sark, and it's like they also have like CJ and Chris Middleton and Marcus Smart. And it's like, bro, what?
Like they said, the unction, bro. They got the unction and the youngins, man. Nice mixture. They say SSB said the Spurs should let Wemby develop. Don't go get a superstar yet. That's a good point.
Yeah.
That's a good
Yeah.
point. It was the reason why people were hesitant, like with the Paul George rumor to the Hawks, even though it was fake. People were like, "No, don't get Paul George because it's gonna stunt Ricochet's growth."
Yeah, no, that's true.
Hold
But
on.
Going back to Giannis, I don't know. At this point now, I feel like the best option for him is to stay in Milwaukee, especially when you're looking at the Eastern Conference and how it looks. I would not. If I was him and I just like the reason I'm leaving Milwaukee is because okay, I have not had playoff success in 3 years. I've gotten kicked out the first round for 3 straight years. Why am I going to the Western Conference? Why am I going to the Western Conference? Shoot, Dan just said it. Dan
said it, and
do not go to the Western Conference.
Yeah, both of them said
like everybody is in the Western Conference, and the East is weak right now. Like, stay in the West, stay in the East. Like, stay with Milwaukee. Like, they'll figure. Like I said, Giannis can get you 45 wins off his strength. Like, and then whatever happens, happens. You feel me? Like, look at Indiana.
I think, Indiana definitely like opened it up for everybody, bro.
Yeah.
Nate was talking about the Bucks again. Adrian Griffin had those guys with the best record, and the team didn't like his style of offense. Yeah, that was definitely a mistake, like forcing him out the way and getting
Doc Rivers. Like what, first, second in the East?
Yeah, and Doc Rivers had to coach the All-Star game after just getting the job like a week.
Yeah.
Giannis would end up another Kawhi in the West. Dame and Giannis is still a good duo, 100%. I think it all goes back to Stephen A's take for me of just like, if he ends up with one championship, that is bad. Like, or that is he underperformed.
Oh, underachieved. Yeah.
Bro, if Giannis goes 20 years, dog, in Milwaukee, just like with Trey in Atlanta, you go 20 years in Milwaukee and you got one, you Dirk Nowitzki, bro. You statue outside of the little Sixers third. You a legend forever. If you go to another team and you win another one, it's gonna be like KD. The Warriors rings, they don't really,
asterisk.
I'm saying, bro, just stay in Milwaukee, dog. You already got one. It don't matter how much y'all lose. You already got one. Do you know he's talking about most of the league? What do you mean? What you mean, Nate? Who you talking about? Stephen A? I was really scared for a moment that the Mavs would have traded the number one pick to the Bucks.
Hey, with Nico, anything on the table.
No. I don't know if you've seen him. He said when the Lord blesses you or something like that. It was something Nico like that. Nico, all right, here it is. Nico on the Mavs winning the draft despite the 1.8% odds. Fortune favors the bold, so exciting things fell our way.
The worst thing is him feeling justified for trading Luka.
Yeah.
I got the first pick.
He's literally looking at people like, I told you so. And it's like, What? What do you mean? Like it was lottery balls, bro. One thing, one ring isn't enough. That's insane. Stephen A. Smith just talks out of both sides of his mouth. Yeah, you guys already know what that is.
Yeah.
I think enough people online have complained about Stephen A., including myself. All right, man. It's been an hour live. Folks, chat. We appreciate y'all. Uh, it's currently 2:11 a.m. on the East Coast, and I'm holding like Malik hostage, so I'm gonna let him get out of here. Kyrie, Clay, Flag, AD, and Lively would be great starting five.
I
That
like
don't
that.
even sound realistic, bruh. Like, I mean, because you see Clay's name, Clay's still Clay, bro. Like,
Yeah. Kyrie, Clay, Flag,
Kyrie,
AD, and
Clay,
Lively. That's
Flag.
it. That is a
He,
nasty.
he, he
That's a
got
nasty five.
Flag at the 3
That is a nasty five.
because AD don't want to play the
80,
5.
80 don't want to play the five, and
Give
they
me a
just signed
center.
Gafford to an extension.
Oh,
So
yeah. They
he's
still got
definitely not
Gafford,
playing the
too.
five.
Who are the winners and the losers of the draft?
Mm.
Um, Shoot.
Winners, I definitely say Spurs.
San Antonio.
Um,
I ain't gonna lie. It might sound controversial because in the big picture, they didn't win. But tonight, immediate winners just this year. High reward Pelicans.
yeah, they did. They got Derek and Jeremiah. Yeah, yeah.
High
Uh,
reward. High risk as well, though.
Brooklyn. I mean, Brooklyn had 5 first-round picks. Like,
Yeah. Shout out
Brooklyn
to
had
the guys
5
that they
picks.
drafted at the end of the first round.
Yeah. I'm trying to think who else. Uh, OKC. I like the OKC too. Losers. I don't know if anybody completely lost out. I mean, like I said, I like what the Suns did with come on, I can't pronounce his name for anything right now. But
Yeah.
I just didn't like what they did trading for Mark. But
That I think the Igor pick was pretty high because he was projected to be around
oh
the
yeah,
Hawks.
yeah,
I think that was pretty high. That was a reach right there from Brooklyn. Uh, I think it's even more crazier that they did it with like you said, 5 other picks in the first round.
yeah.
Like, there's no need to reach when you have 5 other picks in the first round. This
Oh,
kid,
6 Yang,
the,
Yang.
the Yang Hansen, no one's ever heard of him, and
Yeah,
then all of a sudden, Rich Paul runs over and gives him a hug and leads him down the stairs like that dang Rich Paul. Done been the dang sports agent for half the first round. He working those. Shout out Rich Paul. The Wizards were the losers of the draft. I'm sorry. They're not another guard. Trade Cole, bro. I'm trying to tell you, trade Cole. What's wild is that, and Alex Sarr is decent, bro. I mean, but I guess he a power forward. A 7-foot power forward. You better be a 5.
man.
I'm gonna make you a 5. What's wild is that PJ will become the ultimate backup wing behind Flag.
They got bro. That front court is nasty. Mavs got a nasty front court. I ain't gonna lie.
Shout out to the
Man,
Hornets, man.
nasty
Always
front
trading
court,
away
man.
quality, bro. But yeah, Young or Yang or no, it's like it's not Yang, like Andrew Yang.
Bro,
It's pronounced.
he was probably the second person I watched as far as film, like
Yeah.
when the pre-draft process worked, and I was like, dang, like he kind of cold. But folks was like, he wasn't gonna be a lottery pick. Like he could either like go late first, like early second, and this man went 16. So he might be something. He might be something.
When he got drafted, I was like, dang, what happened to Kai Soto? Wasn't he supposed to be like Wemby? It was like this kid Kai Soto was it. I haven't seen him since. Like I think he was with G League Ignite a couple years ago too. But yeah, I don't know, man. I feel hesitant whenever somebody is compared to Jokic, because it's just like, oh, is this what we're gonna do now? Is it gonna be like the KD thing? Every tall, skinny guy is KD. every like bigger, slow, unathletic guy is Jokic. Dan said kid is gonna have some interest in lineups. Okay, so they asked Nico, right? I shout out to the Dallas media, bro, because they asked some great questions. And the first question to Cooper was the conspiracy theory. I don't know if you saw that.
No, I didn't see it.
They
What
said,
they ask him?
yeah, some people said the NBA rigged the lottery for them to get the number one pick because of the Luca trade. What do you say about that? He said, I don't know anything about that process. I'm excited for my opportunity with the Mavericks. And then so dang, where was I going with that? Oh yeah. So Scoop B, he's standing on his reporting. He said Jason Kidd absolutely his dream job is to be the next coach of the New York Knicks. So then his son, Jason Kidd's son, TJ Kidd, he just commented with the little thinking emoji. And then he posted on his Instagram story him in New York Knicks gear and was like, yeah, New York, or something like that. So tonight, they asked Nico, is Jason Kidd the next coach? Or it's like, there's a lot of rumors around it. And he said Jason Kidd will be the coach of the Dallas Mavericks next season.
Oh, my God.
Yeah. Kyrie and CP3 will be so fascinating. CP going to be on the West Coast, bro. I ain't going to hold you. Well, what's your guys' thoughts on how many points per game Flag will average his first year? Let me see. Rookie of the year. Who's rookie of the year this year? Oh, Castle. How much Castle average?
Castle average like 15, 14?
15? How much Zion average his rookie year? I think Zion's a good person to go to.
Big boys.
I'm pulling them up right now. This dude, Zion, is different, dog. Like, you was comparing Queen to him. Zion different, bro. I ain't gonna lie to you. Like, I don't think it's anybody like him. He averaged 22 and a half. Come on, bro. There's only 24 games. Okay,
yeah,
61 games. 61 games. He just averaged 27.
27 and an all-star.
Zion different, bro.
27 in his second year.
He's not human, bro.
And he played 61 games?
Yeah. He's not human, dude. Like I said, like seeing Zion up close, it radicalized my opinion on him. I ain't never seen something like that, bro.
That's crazy.
Like, and it's like he doesn't need a jump shot. Like, you know how like you like as soon as he gets his jump shot, you watch.
Bro,
he drives. No one can literally stop.
Yeah, bro.
They can't.
Even Braun couldn't even stop him.
He's different, bro. I think Flag might struggle. I say Flag averages. Okay, so say AD plays a good amount of time, so that takes away. I say Flag averages about 15 because I would say 17, but AD playing is going to take away some points, so I say 15.
But I think with Kyrie out the first half of the season, like it'll probably be like 15, 16, something like that.
Our average 13.
I think it depending on who the point guard is. It will depend on who the point guard is when Kyrie's not there. Like if it's like CP or something like that, like he gonna get easy shots.
Yeah.
Average 12.
An 18-year-old that is 6'8" with a wingspan of 7 foot is absolutely ridiculous. They are already comparing Flag to the next Kawhi Leonard, which is wild.
Oh boy.
Flag is a dog, bro.
Yeah, no, Flag different. Flag different.
But like he like one of them sickos that like love to hoop. Like he love to play defense. He love to block your shot. Like it's levels to this.
Yeah.
He's just on a different level. Flag body was so much more NBA ready than the rest of the college players. It will take time to get used to when competing against other threes. Yeah. I mean, yeah, I guess he got to play three, right? Yeah. He got shoulders like Kawhi. Yeah. But all right, y'all. We getting out of here because it's 2:20. If I was by myself, I would probably keep going. But like, I gotta be mindful. Like, it's a whole nother person here with his own thing. So Malik, any last words you want to let the people know where they can find you?
For sure. Same as always. Malik _ATL. Good episode today, man. Good draft.
Yes,
I said, like the winners, losers, like can't really say many losers for real. Like I think this was a deep draft, like everybody said. Like it was kind of hard to just like go wrong. You feel me? Like I don't know.
I don't know if that young kid is gonna be anything. I'll say that.
We'll see. Their jury's still out on him, but yeah.
Memphis did that 2 years in a row. They did Zach Edey.
Oh, Zach Edey, yeah.
Now they they going for the traditional kind of like big guys and trying to see if they'll hit. We'll see. Yeah. Okay, all right, yeah. Cool pod, everything like that. Yo, shout out to the chat. Y'all was active tonight. I appreciate it.
Active chat.
Shout out Big Nate. Shout out Dan. Shout out SSB. Y'all held it down. Hey man. This counts as my stream tonight, by the way. I'm not streaming tonight. It's just I'm just doing good because this was like the lead. This is the only news I was paying attention to all day. I was locked in. So regular streams, everything like that, back tomorrow and stuff for the outside folks that's not into basketball or the NBA. But yeah, anyways, if you're watching this on replay, have a good morning, a good afternoon, a good evening, a good night, a good day. If nobody else told you today, I care for you. Until next time, peace.
And if they come out clean.